making and designing an autocomplete program, a program that takes a user input and it will project words that may often be found in a reference, like in a dictionary. All right, and the functionality of autocomplete or autocorrect is to take the user's input and look through a set of recognized values or words, also known as strings in our computer programming languages. We take and alter the list of possible results based upon what the user inputs into the text field. And about complexity versus simplicity. A lot of times we want to take the simple approach in programming and making different programs for people to use and operate, because that would be the easiest path. But what the user expects is also had to be in consideration in a lot of these designing principles. We have to consider what the user may want. And so sometimes you have to make things more complex just to satisfy the user. And the implementation of this has already been proven many times over by sites like Google and Bing. If you look at how sometimes you'll see when you start typing in the text field, it will start showing a list of different words that a lot of people are searching for. Now what I did is a lot more simpler compared to their programs, because their programs are designed to calculate for different theories about how people search. In other words, maybe one day certain searches will come up more often because they've been searched a lot that day. But it's, in this base term, what I created was just taking the word that is closest to the word that you're looking for out of the set of words that you have. And how is this made? Java, lots of it. Not really the programming language. But actually this was made through utilizing the GUI model to Kinter, which is, GUIs are graphical user interfaces. We use the model of Kinter in the program, and we build the program from this module. And it's built into Python's language, so it's very accessible. Why did I choose to do this? Well, I thought it would be fun, somewhat, and as far as programming goes, it's nice to be able to take a different approach and design something for yourself instead of having to design something for an assignment or that somebody would like you to make. And I also decided to make a program that would be practical or real life use, something that everyone would possibly be interested in, that they like to function, properly every single day. And for the sake of challenge, I also thought it would be something to, challenge myself and make myself, push my limits of what I can do. And then I also thought about I might want to work for one of these type of companies one day. So it's something that you have to consider. You want to be able to make something similar to what you would want to become. So that was definitely in consideration when I made this program. And I'm about to show you it working in action. Now you see, I've got a text field that says enter a word to search. And it has a search button, you have an autocomplete button, a quit button, and you have a did you mean field, which is what you see a lot of times whenever you typing on your phone on a text messaging service. You'll see, did you mean this? And it is trying to reference you to the words that are in its dictionary that it's built. So I start searching and I find banana. Well, I want to go ahead and I want to search for banana or use banana as a word. So I press the space bar and it will complete the word for me. I can also, use the button for the same functionality. And then if I also added a feature that you can take a word that you do not have in the dictionary and it will output it to a file to read from, and that way you can recognize that word the next time you come back. So let's say we're searching for bank. We don't have bank in the database. So we press the search button, I quit the program, it wants me, and there's bank in our text file, listed in our text file. So we go back doing the program, and the next time we search, we can find bank. So there are many other practical uses that you can use for this in all the everyday use that we use with all our technology. So we have to be able to, in designing this, you have to be able to foresee what the user expects and project that onto their screen. And that is all I have for you. Any questions?
I hate it when they don't have that "did you mean" and you spell something wrong and it's like, nope, didn't find it.
Yeah, well, part of that is I started out, I was just going to have it where you could complete it by pressing the space bar, but I also thought about what the user might expect, and you have to account for that. The user may want to see that, and so you have to make that a visual thing that they will see, or else they get disgruntled and they may not want to buy your product. So.
Not very well safe.
I know when I was doing programming with a partner, the herald for our project taking an extra week was always when one person looked at the other one and said, you know what would be cool?
Yeah.
It was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to add that in now.
Yeah, but when you finish it, it's.
But it's really cool. I mean, my thought here wouldn't it be cool if they did spell anything they put in there?
Yeah.
You had an algorithm to look through all the words to get what is the closest equivalent to what they just spelled.
Yeah. The algorithm that I'm using actually takes the set of letters that they put into the text field, and it outputs the closest value that it can find from that.
Okay.
And the only difference being is that sometimes if you have words that may resemble other words, say you, I'm trying to think of a for instance here. Say,
Salt and safe.
let's say we're using salt and tall, and the first three letters you put were TAL, then it may be showing salt, it just recognizes the closest letter values for it under that set. But it's a lot more complex with what Google and Bing may do, because they have algorithms to search through and determine exactly, almost precisely what you're searching for. So it's a lot different than taking the closest set of value.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah.
I have some words I misspell so often that now it suggests, do I want the misspelling that I used?
Yeah, well, you can even, the way I've got it here, if you were to search that and press the search button, you could have that word if you wanted to make up your own words, you could have it in the database. And we often have words that show up that aren't in Google, and they, have to apply them to their databases.
Names and things like that too.
Yes.
Other questions for Daniel?
I think that given the amount of time that we had, kind of we worked on it for 1 week or so, right?
2 weeks.
Okay, yeah. I think you came up with something, and maybe, for next edition of the symposium, we can work a little bit longer on a more complex project. Right?
Yes.
Let's thank our speaker again.